The Raptors are just one game over 500. Set here early.
Trying to set the tone, but you got to be careful. You have to be smart, because to your point, Matt, you have to play Jalen Brunson with size and physicality throughout the whole time.
Brunson in the corner. OG Anunoby, former Raptor, fading baseline, and 21 points in those games. Emmanuel quickly, the former Knick, gets freed up, working with Jakob Wordle or something. What's that? It sounds.
I'm
sounds
not sure
very much
what
like
Matt was
Wordle.
trying to do. Yeah, Wordle.
You know, what's he trying to do? Come up with a game? Here's Towns with it.
Only not averaging quite 20 yet, but that's the lowest since his rookie years. You see defense, and that's what they're doing. They're stifling defense, talking about the New York Knicks.
Darko Rajakovic. A few words with Courtney Kirkland. B.I. open the three. Good. Danielle mentioned in the open that Raptors are aware of their record against teams above them in the standings. Is this one of those games you say, okay, as Jakob attacks? They're 2 games back at Toronto, and watch out, there's Orlando. They've dropped 2 in a row. It should be a fun.
It's amazing watching what Charlotte is doing with that team, and they continue to get better and better. Con Knippel leading the charge. Brandon Miller.
Great start for the Raptors. OG not. Got 5 of his team's 7. Raptors, they'll play the Knicks 5 times this season. Here's B.I. corner 3. He's
attacking the paint. Outstanding pass by R.G. Barrett finding B.I.
Raptors getting on the glass. It's quickly. Jakob attacking. Here's R.J. Doesn't go on the glass. 10th game against New York this season. Jakob's second game against New York this season. OG's.
He hit a 3 above the break, and that time running the floor.
That short corner. Jay Ingram short. Brunson double. Karl Anthony Towns in the corner to OG attacking. Josh Hart, Brunson, Towns, shot clock.
Corner, so when you talk about the corner area, 3-point usage period, but the corner is where they really thrive. You know that, but the Raptors did an outstanding job of rotating out on defense.
Scotty played range.
And this is where you're really going to need Scotty tonight. Hounding Jalen Brunson. That's why that early foul was so upsetting. Great pass.
Barnes was guarding him.
And that was allowed. Pirtle stayed a little too long in that pick and roll action, which freed Cat to get all the way to the basket or the lob.
Great look. And then
are playing with attacking the offensive glass. Scotty still picking up 94 feet, making it a tough early first quarter for Jalen Brunson.
Bridges rises up, knocks it on January the 28th against New York. Here's B.I. What did you say?
The shot, but both teams are showing high-level basketball, and that's what I mean. You start to get down to March and April. This is really winning time in game-time basketball.
Great pass. The denial by
efforts by the Raptors and Scotty Barnes.
B.I. in a crowd, quick, the 3 off the mark. Brunson unable to cut it in half. This is the Raptors' largest lead. Has been a positive one for the Raptors. Rolling.
Right there, taking that opportunity away, getting the charge. And this is the luxury of having Jamal Shead. You have somebody that can hound the basketball. He's not big as Scotty and not physical as Scotty, but he's somebody that can still cause a problem.
Brunson. Jakob up top to Ingram in a 4-point game. Ingram gets to his spot. Jumper good.
Struggle a little bit at the end when OG's becoming more physical with him. You see Jamal Shead hounding, but he can't pick up a foul. I want to pick up the foul right there. Too aggressive. And
Mamukelashvili to the table for Toronto. Here's quickly looking for B.I. Shamit on him. Quick, strong move. Scored 20+ in 4 of the last 5 since the All-Star break. Game number 59 for B.I. Diawara guards him. B.I. fouled. Old Spice Fiji deodorant.
Already alluded to it. You have to be patient on offense. Attack matchups, be deliberate. Do not allow physical and play their style. If you're the Raptors, you want to attack the matchups, You also want to push the ball on offense, but you really want to be deliberate with the matchups and where the shots are coming from.
Raptors right now produced at a high level. It was Bridges and OG Anunoby around him, along with Karl Anthony Towns on the glass.
They really started playing. Their energy really picked up on behalf of the captain.
For the Raptors.
But you love it because they have the same game, so they have the same responsibility. They have the same understanding what the game plan is. So you have to communicate that.
Brunson, the step back, jumper, good.
And shoot right over top.
Shed. Here's Manu attacking. Evan Scott said it was all ball. Here's Brunson now, cut off by Jacoby Walter, who's on the floor. Three doesn't go. It's going to. The great tradition of basketball, both men's and women's. Here's Ingram, little shake shimmy. Snip through, finger roll. Last 8 for Toronto. He has 16 of the 27. Alvarado cut off. Here's Oak. Pulls up, jumper, good.
And again, if you're listening, all you're hearing is the sneakers screeching on the floor for these guys moving, stopping, going, being physical in defense, and still making shots.
Corner three, pops out. Shooting over 40% from. And OG Anunoby is final 3:24 that first quarter. They did get to the foul line. Jakob Poeltl back on Anunoby, Diawara in Bridges, Barnes with Barrett, Poeltl battling quickly. Here's a three. OG and Tracy and Vince walking over here.
Classless. Vince hit me with a water bottle. Tracy's massaging my head. Just like Alvarado over here, disrupting my offense.
That's what happens when you become an owner. You know, you just come in
do whatever you want to do, right?
Do whatever you want.
Oh man.
Towns, and he's fouled.
Three-point shot all the time.
Listen, he came out and hit 2 big threes. That opened up everything for him. He feel pretty confident for everything.
Matt, he did not want to come out that game. And sometimes you gotta throw that minute guidance out the window.
Sure,
you gotta let him keep cooking.
Because you got it rolling. You see that thing go in the basket, especially you start out hitting 2 threes. You feel like every shot is going to be made.
Well, you know, if you were cooking like that, I would imagine Vince and T-Mac, you'd probably be looking over there saying, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. Coach know not to take me out.
You keep going.
We'll find that on the back end.
Not tonight.
Towns, there's Poeltl.
For Toronto to set the tone, because this is a possible matchup. Right. Of who wants to be a part of this and set.
Raptors have lost 11 in a row against New York. Wow. So it's even more of a night like tonight. Alvin and I talked about it earlier. You want to make a statement like, hey, you know, we can hang.
When you get in that type of rhythm, now it's about
Shamet. After the turnover, lays it up and in.
The Raptors were forced to call a timeout because they couldn't get into their off, and then they get an outlet. So that's 3 plays in a row where you just see the Raptors.
3 teams. You look at Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, New York, 4 teams. But I would say this. Toronto can play with anybody because of their personnel. They can match up with any team. Physicality, consistency, and discipline. When I look, they have one player that's going to generate everything for them, right? Whoever is matched up with them, if you have bodies to throw at him, you can wear a player like that down in the playoffs in the 7-game series. Boston is a team to really look out for because of how they play. They play elite defense. They shoot the ball at a high clip from the 3-point line. The playoffs, you know, with their physicality, and they have that one player that if the game is on the line, he's not a to take over the game. But I think Toronto compete with
what they're supposed to do, but I also have had the opportunity to watch Boston play a couple of times, and I tell you what, they are for real. They have everything. Their bench play, they have scoring, they have rebounding. I think Vucevic has been tremendous for them for just scoring and opening. You know, they're getting all the threes they want, driving everything.
Vince, you saw this team last year.
Be healthy next year, healthier. We're going to add another scorer now, all-star in BI, and look at them now. I said they're going to get out of the first round, but they're going to put teams to the max to where they're going to wear them down in the second round.
You're talking about Boston. What happens, hypothetical, but Tatum comes back.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, what do you do as a team, or there's got to be some extensive conversations on what his role is going to be for the team.
Yes.
Right, because what they've established with him being gone.
Stop by and talk basket. You could talk all night just about their perspective.
Tracy Ken?
No. With both of them.
Game, Butch Carter did an outstanding job along with the vets developing those guys, and now full circle. These guys are owners together. They have podcasts together. They're doing a lot of things together, so it's a delight to see.
It is great to see. B.I. with 3 fouls. Karl Anthony Towns with 3 fouls, but the Knicks, their defense has tightened. No. Jakob. Here's quickly. Raptors with Barnes all over the glass, and there's Josh Hart. Raptors now 4 for 14 from 3.
You see the outstanding hustle by Josh Hart and the rest of this New York Knicks team, and I talked about it, Matt. You can't rely on your shot-making ability to win the games. You have to be, and on the offensive side, you really have to be deliberate. You have to make sure it's not just the shot-making. You're getting the shots that you want.
Scott with 5:42 remaining here in the first half. Both T-Mac and Vince doing so well, and 5. Here's Hart spinning. He has yet to score, and that's his. And back on January the 28th here in Toronto, tied his season. Hasn't shot it well since the All-Star break from 3. Here's Scotty, kick out. Mamu getting downhill. Mamu off the back.
Handling the ball up top against Jalen Brunson. I want Scotty's
challenge here. And Scotty wins it.
It's a good opportunity, Matt, for the Raptors to continue to dive into this, settle down a bit, got things together. Great pass over top.
And Mamu has it swatted away.
And again, multiple efforts by the Knicks. You see the mentality that they play with.
In that situation, I know he felt them coming, but you might be better instead of reloading, just going up. Robinson and Brunson quickly. And quick 1 of 6. Brunson. Shamet, he can shoot it. And that one right.
Forcing 2 players to go with Jalen Brunson, leaving the shooter wide open. So that's an easy switch. If it's position to position, 1 to 2 switch, you can make that happen easily.
B.I.
Half-court set.
3-point play. 21 now in the first half for Ingram. Shed with Mamu Kelishvili, Barnes, Ingram, and R.J. Barrett. Hart to the cutting Shamet.
That time, and then Brunson in the action.
12-point lead for New York. Ingram looking to make a move. Doubled. Shoots over
to waste. B.I. is trying to do everything with his shot-making ability.
Get stops. With 3:05 left here in the clock, it's 7. Brunson. Diawara fires a 3.
The Raptors could negate that just by being on the same page and communicating. That time, again, you left another shooter wide open.
Here's Shed attacking. Ingram there. Double comes on the inside and points. New York 21. They've responded. Scotty gets up in the air, turns it over. Hart strip. Maintains it. Gets it up top. Diawara back over to Hart.
Presence at the rim.
New York shooting 72% from the field here in the second quarter. Diawara. Knicks trying to get back in transition. Spinning. Going to the.
You still have to crowd Jalen Brunson, and Scotty can do that with his length and his physicality.
Back to 10. And their only loss during that time was in Cleveland, 109-94.
And the one thing you can Jalen Brunson, then you have somebody like Karl Anthony Towns, and then other pieces around. That's going to come together at some point. You have to have the mindset that you want to win.
Over the last 15 games, they have the best defensive rating in the NBA.
Karl, difficult to guard because he can catch the ball in perimeter and get all the way to the basket in 1 or 2 dribbles.
RJ. Jakob, second chance. Barrett, the 3. Doesn't go. Hart. Guarded by his former teammate quickly. OG in the post. And B.I.
First half, B.I. someone had made a move and he didn't contest. That time he played all the way through contest and got the block shot.
Backing in, double comes, finds Scotty, extra pass, Jakob. And those
opportunities.
Scotty gets the block. Gets to the short corner. B.I. Here's quickly wide open. Brunson the up fake. Brunson looking for Towns underneath. Towns and a handoff for Barrett. Here's quickly attacking. B.I. open. B.I. Towns. Oh, Scotty!
To play.
Quickly spins around, maintains a dribble, cut off. Jakob, a push shot. Brunson, cut off. Towns now trying to get downhill.
And get some usage. He's a tough matchup because he can extend the floor and he can get all the way to the basket and be physical.
OG met by Jakob. Gets us. And kind of OG, they want to get a switch. OG rolling. Brunson looking for some room. Brunson. And Scotty got a piece of that.
Scotty Barnes.
RJ stopped by Bridges. He'll swing it to Ingram. Jakob sets a screen. Here's B.I. getting by Towns. Quick gathers, fires. January 1st shooting 41% from three. Quickly has made 3 of the Raptors' 7 tonight.
Raptors defense has really picked up.
And on the glass, battling for it. That was set up by the presence of Pirtle. Ingram, it takes it away. 2-point game. 10-point lead at halftime for New York. Brunson kicks it, Hart up fake. And Hart.
Scotty has Jalen under control. Stay home. You can stay. He can make that shot. But it's more opportunities. You got B.I. Get B.I. rolling. Get your opportunities in transition and half-court set.
Shed. Driving. Shed. No. Shamet to pull up 3.
I'm looking for B.I. I'm looking for R.J. Barrett. R.J.'s doing a really good job of being aggressive, getting to the rack, and we know what B.I. been doing all night. He can't go possession after possession without touching the ball.
RJ, an overall selection by San Antonio in 2022. He was waived.
It came from the San Antonio Spurs system that's going to push the limits and drive the competition factor off the bench.
Here's Diawara, the corner 3. Hart grabbing his ribs in a timeout. Robinson, Diawara, Shamet. Shed with Barrett, Walter, Pirtle, and Ingram. Shed gets a piece of it. Pirtle scoops it up.
Good to tap it out and get the rebound.
Jakob looking for Ingram on the cut. Skip pass. Shed got a peep. Robinson is Brunson. 7 on the shot clock. Diawara attacking. Pushing off. Gets the Diawara at 6'9". Ingram with 2 on him. Finds RJ. Robinson, that turnover. Good job by Robinson on the rotation. Here's Shamet. In and out. OG checks in. Both teams have played 9 tonight. Knicks all of for the Raptors. Ingram grabbing his left hand. Here's Mamu attacking, and he's fouled. And
Ingram wincing and going through any discomfort because he is so valuable to this, and you want to see him complete this season.
Yeah, this is game 59. He has played career. He's been tremendous this season. Loose
station of Mitchell Robinson, and again, now we see Sandro in the game with him. Mitchell Robinson was one play, but you have to. Your job is to keep Mitchell Robinson off of the glass.
Ingram with the denial. B.I. up fake. B.I. spins, attacks. Oh, he's got 31 tonight.
And Matt, that's just tough. When you have aggressive defensive player on you, sometimes you use their energy against them, and that's what B.I. did.
Field goal in 5 minutes. It's a 6-point game. It speaks to their defense, how active deal. Scotty goes up, lays it up and in, and a 4-point game. Scotty. The handoff not there with Anunoby on Ingram. 1:30 to go here in the third. Barnes cut off by Robinson. Walter the open three to Glass. Huge rebound by Mamu.
Outstanding. Got a smaller Landry Shamet on him. Down, he can take advantage on the offensive glass as he did that last possession.
B.I. double. Puts up the shot. He's out of bounds.
Offensive glass.
Shed. And he finds Scotty for the slam dunk and an 8-0 run.
Attracted two defenders, took advantage, dribble, kept his head up, stayed patient.
2-point game. Alvarado, shot clock at 5. Dribbles through the paint, Shed diving for it. Here's Brunson.
These two guys, Alvarado and Jalen Brunson in the lineup. Jamal Shed was just inches away from getting a deflection or a steal even.
Courtney Kirkland with the call. 2.1 second difference, game clock shot. Brunson just made that big three. Some breathing room, 5-point game. Shamet cut off. Excellent defense by Barnes. Raptors with an opportunity here. There's a foul to give. Ingram turns up fake, loses it in the quarter. A W tonight against New York would go a long way. Here's Shamet. 3 doesn't go.
Fourth quarter, this is, you talk about upper echelon, and you talk times the fourth quarters, the end of the game, winning time, clutch time. This is when you want to see constant improvement.
RJ get Diawara on a handoff for Shamet. Towns over to Alvarado. With Barnes there. Alvarado clocked down, and Mamu contested.
I love this action by these two guys right here, just playing together, multiple efforts, and now you finish it off with a block shot.
Darko Rajakovic going with a tight rotation. 8 players will figure minutes. Battle played 4. That was in the first half. He has shortened that rotation up. RJ with what may come in the postseason.
I love it. Taking advantage of the mid-range game. I would like to see more of the Raptors when they have that opportunity, that open spot. Jamal Shed being another player. Shoot that mid-range and let your bigs go get the offensive glass if it misses.
Towns turns, fires 3, no. Back up top to Barnes. Barnes with Diawara there. Quickly thought about it. Crossover to the elbow. Mamu ball fake. Cut off by Bridges. Spins. Shot doesn't for 5 tonight. 3-point game. Quickly, good job, Alvarado.
On the Raptors defense.
Walter picks up his second. Bridges.
And if you remember last game, the Raptors played against the Knicks. When Jalen Brunson went out the game in the fourth quarter, they really picked it up from an hitting ability. From 3 was there in the fourth quarter, and they really ran away with the game, so to speak. See if the Raptors can hold them down a bit defensively.
Scotty attacks the cut. Mamu, he is there. You have to play through it.
Exactly, man. You have to play through it. You have to go to the rack expecting to get fouled and just play with force and play with strength.
Jakob makes his way to the table. He's played 22 minutes tonight. Raptor, here's quickly. Whoa! tiptoeing along the end line. RJ scoops it up. He's in the paint.
This is good defense right here. Forcing Alvarado trying to make a
bounds. Jakob back in. Looking for Scotty with Towns on him. Here's quick, wide open three. The two bigs, Towns and Robinson.
You've seen him go with the two bigs. You've seen him go with the 2 point guards. So Mike Brown and his staff really switching up the lineups, giving the Raptors different looks.
Quickly with a double-double tonight. And Knicks.
And Mikal Bridges is a player. He's having a quiet leap on him. He can fill it up.
Last time they played at 30. Here's Barrett in the paint. RJ, great patience through traffic.
I love when he navigates those plays. Get through traffic and still get downhill, especially to that strong hand.
Brunson's waiting to return. He's at the table. Raptor. Pirtle is 6 games back. Averaging 10 points, 6 rebounds, 23 minutes. It's the bucket. 7-point game, 7:40 left here Tuesday night.
We're going to have a different Knicks team. It's going to be a little slower without Alvarado in the game, but it's going to be more methodical and more deliberate with Jalen Brunson controlling the show.
RJ again gets in the paint.
His rhythm. He's playing, going downhill, finishing, playing through.
Here in the fourth for Toronto. Brunson with Shed there, step back.
Trying to close this game out. We talked about him being a reigning clutch player of the year. You have to pay him more attention or give him different looks.
9th in the league in scoring. Shed with the 3. Shooting now 37% on the season. Here's Brunson operating, fading. Shot off the mark.
Once in a row, he's being very aggressive, so the Raptors really have to make sure they're paying attention to him.
Here's RJ with the 3. Buries it. As you mentioned, the pace slowed down. Robinson up top to Bridges. Sends it opposite. Shamet trying to get some room. Tough shot. Towns quickly. Oh! Tough angle. Knicks coming up big here in the fourth.
Against their former team, you're right. Better than that.
2-point game. Bridges. Shamet trying to get some room. Tonight, the Raptors are plus 24. Sets a screen. He'll clear out for Brunson. He'll step through. Hart, clock down. Bridges. Air.
The next phase is do it out the entire game. No matter who's in the game, paying attention to the game plan.
Barrett finds Scotty open 3. Doesn't. OG comes away with it.
Great look for Scotty.
Bridges attacking.
The nation working together. They really on the same page. They know where each other's going to be.
Shed over to Ingram. Back over to Shed. Back to B.I. over OG. Too strong. Point lead for New York. Barnes cuts off Hart. Left in the fourth. Hart to Towns. Shot clock down. Towns fading.
Every possession now.
So they've been there tonight more than New York is. Brunson letting Evan Scott have it. Ingram's shot doesn't go. And a foul on Jakob. Ingram fading. Shot doesn't. He's 4 of 5 here in the fourth with 9 points. The rest of the Raptors 1 for 9 with 2 points, and that's Emmanuel quickly. Brunson, clock at 8, 3 short.
That's where this team will hurt you. Josh Hart, he's going to crash the offensive glass.
Towns doubled in the post. Hey, Scotty. It's taken away. 3-on-1. Hart. And Darko is giving him the look to Evans.
When I'm going to Serbia, if I see it look like that, I'm getting out of there.
You're running the other way. Oh.
Look at Jalen Brunson and Scotty Barnes. What's going on here?
Towns. RJ finds Quick. They need this. Doesn't need to go. Slipping away for Toronto. And Scotty, 95-93. 13-2 run now, deep three. And with a minute to go, Hart. And
Say this, Matt. It's still another piece. CMB's not here.
right.
You give the full lineup. I like this matchup.
Physicality he can bring. Turns home to take on the Thunder tomorrow. And Hart unable to execute from the line, but gives it to Hart. Hart fires a three, and it's good. It was 95-93 at the 5:50 mark. And since that time, a 16-2 run. And McCullough, Kolek had it to 2. And Alvin take us from there.
And you saw the potential. You saw what it's going to take for the Raptors and be in these type of games when they're defensively locked in, when they're letting their offensive work. You have your main gun when you talk about scoring, and BI, you have RJ coming together. But again, I'm interested to see when C and B is here, when you have somebody else that is physical.